daycare center owner allegedly abuses 9-month-old child. Pastor Benjamin, now superintendent of police. Fire department concerned with bushfires increase. Businesses may claim losses for damage if caused by roundabout construction. And major changes for inter-schools athletic meets. Reporting for SKNVibes, here is Samantha Allen.
A Bastia resident has alleged that the owner of a private daycare center on Pines Avenue in Irish Town had physically abused her 9-month-old daughter, and she is seeking justice. With more on this story, here is SKNVibes Editor-in-Chief Stanford Conway. Mr. Conway?
Speaking with this media house, the mother said,
The babysitter, the private daycare?
Yeah.
Okay. When I get home, I put her down there to sit down in the chair. And like 10 minutes after I come and I sit here, in this next chair next to her, I was cutting up some vegetable. And I noticed she stretched her hand. And when she stretched, I realized both hands swell. So I was like, I asked her, Brianna, what happened to you? And I start checking. Then I realized she right instep also swell. So I put down what I was doing and I went back to the woman. So I asked her, I said, what happened to Brianna's hand? They swell and I show she. I said, she fall down? She said, no. I said, something bite her? She said, no. I said, then what happened? She said, nothing. I said, what? Look, they swell. She look at the child hand and she gonna ask me, they don't look swell to me, they look swell to you? Just like that. And I said, okay. I said, I'm not asking you if
the young mother stated that she took the child to the Joseph N. France General Hospital to find out what had caused the swelling.
I went to the hospital. I see the doctor. The doctor examined her hand. The doctor said there's signs of abuse. The child was abused. But they still go further and they do an x-ray. When they take the x-ray, the results come back. They said, yes, the suspicion has been confirmed. The child was abused. So let me go to the station and make a report and come back. So when she said station, I said, police? She said, yes, if you don't go, the welfare is going to contact you. But I didn't, when she said that, I didn't have no more choice but go to the station.
She also stated that a report was made at the Bastia police station where a female officer gave her a medical form and advised she return to the hospital and get it signed.
I make the report. The police also see the child hand. The officer tell me that don't wait till tomorrow because the doctor shift was going to end by like 9 o'clock the night. I reach at the station after 7. The officer telling me, go back right now to the hospital, get it signed, and come back as she want to deal with the matter urgently. So I went back to the hospital, get it signed from the doctor, and I go back to the station. They said, okay, that they're going to get in contact. The night the officer called, said, well, she name is Officer Powell, and she and the welfare is going to be working on the matter. Next day she called me, which is on the Thursday, which is the 13th. She said that the welfare get a copy of the report, and so I should listen out for a call. So until then, since then to now, I haven't get no call from the welfare. But the Friday, maybe I assume that the welfare or the police contacted her, but the mother come here about 4 something. No, about
the Friday.
The Friday. About let me say about wrong. No, not 4 something, but 3 something. The mother come and I was sitting in front. She come up this step and thanks to you, she daughter can't look sure no more. And if I feel nice, I take bread out of she daughter's mouth. And if anybody look, they could see nothing to the child. But so I said that the child hand swell. I said, if you look good, you're going to see her. If you want, you can see the picture. She walk away and say, well, it's so be the case, you could look for me and I would have give you money if you go to the doctor. And she go on and surprise you and she go on. And I didn't really pay she no mind, but I answer she back and she keep using and she walk out the yard. But the last thing I could remember she's saying is that, remember you owe she for a couple of days. So I said, yes, I go in and pay she money right now. She better get a receipt ready.
Efforts were made to get the daycare center owners' side of the issue, but they were futile.
Over the last weekend, it was rumored that Pastor Leroy Benjamin, chaplain of the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force, was appointed Superintendent of Police. With more on this story, here is SKNVibes editor Terry McCall.
A picture was circulated with Pastor Benjamin standing at attention in a khaki green uniform, identical to that worn by gazetted officers of the police force. This was not well received in some quarters, and questions were raised as to how, when, and why Pastor Benjamin was made superintendent of police. According to the police force's press and public relations officer, Inspector Lyndon David, quote, by virtue of his position as chaplain, Pastor Benjamin carries a rank, but he is only just beginning to wear his uniform, unquote. Assistant Commissioner Ian Quealy also speaks on the matter.
The office of the chaplain is not uncustomary in any military or
Paramilitary?
law enforcement, so for the person to have a rank. It's not a rank that carries operational capabilities. It's what we call a supernumerary rank. And it's nothing new. It's just that it's being conferred upon him at this time, but it's nothing new.
ACP Quealy said he does not know exactly when Pastor Benjamin received his instrument of appointment, but he only recently started putting on his uniform. He also said that he does not know if Pastor Benjamin is now in receipt of a superintendent's salary. Meanwhile, retired Commissioner of Police Calvin Foy had a different view. He believes that this might not be the best move by the authorities, noting that the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court had ruled that Pastor Benjamin was engaged in misfeasance and the disenfranchisement of voters whilst functioning as supervisor of election.
And I am frank with my observation and what I'm hearing. I would never feel pleased to know. As a police officer trained in discipline, I will be paying compliment by a salute to somebody whose position, not just as force personnel officer, as force chaplain, but as a former position in the public eye, questioned against it.
The former top cop says that he views this move as an affront to discipline in the police force.
But I am saying, as it stands from my personal point of view, an observation of what transpired in recent time pertaining to the individual, it is an affront to good governance, discipline of the police force to impose that type of position and uniform on the individual. This is my personal. I'm not talking on behalf of the police. I'm talking as a retired officer and still a member of our community who is interested in the upward mobility of the police force.
A noticeable increase in bushfires in St. Kitts is causing serious concern amongst members of the St. Kitts Nevis Fire and Rescue Services Department. With more on this story, here is SKNVibes editor Terry McCall.
According to Ogaro, a number of the fires are attributed to farmers and/or persons who need to clear a piece of land. He explained that rather than taking the debris to the Conwy landfill for proper disposal, they are ignited. Ogaro reminded that lighting fires is an offense and warned that if persons are caught, they would be reported to the authorities. He advised that persons who need to light a fire should first contact the fire department and an assessment would be done of that area. He also explained that following the assessment, a decision would be made on whether or not the fire should be lit. He further advised that individuals who have residential properties in bushy areas should invest in creating fire breaks around their homes. He said this is the removal of brush from around the home, which would reduce the likelihood of a fire spreading to their property.
As works on the Kim Collins Highway roundabout near completion, businesses in the area which may have suffered damage due to construction of the project may be able to claim compensation. With more on this story, here is Mr. Conway.
This was revealed at a press conference held on Monday, the 17th of March, for the opening of another completed section of the roundabout along the highway. When asked about compensation for business owners should their property suffer damage as a result of the project, engineer Peter Jenkins said,
Except to say that in construction, Before you start construction, you're required to take out what is called liability insurance, which covers risk. That is what the insurance is for. So that if there is damage attributed to your project, then one can claim under the insurance. The lawyers battling it out in the courtroom.
Addressing the issue of property damage, Director of Public Works, Mr. Cromwell Williams, declared that his department did not officially receive any claim for damage to properties, and that the insurance policy...
Not any such damage would have resulted from this project or from the construction of this roundabout. At this point, we have not received officially any claim, so therefore we cannot speak to such. In mainly to physical damage, with regards to other losses, like loss of business, I suppose it would be a matter of the lawyers battling it out in the courtroom.
The Media House was told that last week discussions were had between representatives of the Public Works Department and owners of businesses within the area of construction, and that the owners were informed that there would have been some level of disruption to their businesses during the construction process.
Mr. Fraser was at our meeting, was it last week when the consultants were here, and he had indicated that there was a fall off in the discount, and he attributed to the vehicular, the construction that was taking place. And we understood, and it was expected that would occur, because if you have construction, it is normal that this would happen. However, it is temporary.
Prior to business owners meeting with the representatives of the Public Works Department, SKNVibes had interviewed the owner of F&H Frisco, Sylvester Fraser, who explained that his company was adversely affected since construction of the project began. He told this publication that no official word was had from the Public Works Department at that time. Fraser added that there were several cracks in the walls of his service station after the project began, and he was in process of quantifying his losses.
As the first Scholastic Track and Field meet approaches, some major changes have been announced that would occur during the staging of this year's meets. With more on this story, here is SKNVibes sports reporter LaShawn Dixon.
From the 22nd to the 23rd of March, the St. Kitts Nevis Amateur Athletic Association, SKNAAA, will be hosting the 2014 Rams Primary School Championships, and a week later, from the 28th of March to the 30th, the TDC Interschool Championships will be held. Speaking with this publication, SKNAAA's Public Relations Officer, Everest Huggins, stated that excitement around the meets has already started.
Well, we are very excited. Preparations are going very well. It's a lot of work we are putting in behind the scenes, a whole lot of work. The LOC meetings are becoming a lot more frequent. The advertising have already started for both meets.
Huggins also stated that track and field enthusiasts could expect changes at the meets.
We can expect changes in the formats for both meets. The Rams Primary School, as I spoke about before, we have decided to change the days. Instead of 3 days, it's now going to be 2 days of competition. Additionally, for the Rams Primary School, in the 800, the 1200, the long jump, the high jump, and the other field events, they have standards where they have to, enter the meet. So that is something that is also.
The PRO further stated that they are happy with the new pricing structure for the meet.
Also, we're excited about the new pricing structure. We will be offering season passes. The Kim Collins Pavilion is $25 daily. Season pass for the Rams Primary is $40. The metal stands, it's $15 daily. Season pass for the Rams Primary is $20. And the grounds is $10. And we're excited to offer to our primary school children in 2014 free entry.
He also spoke of changes for the TDC Interschool Championships slated for next weekend.
The TDC Interschool Championship, of course, we revised the categories and we wanted to fall in line with what the IW has been recommending all the time. Carifta Congress have already made their change. The CAC Junior A and B Championship. They have already changed their format as well too. And so everything is fine to play. So you now have the under 20, under 18, under 16, and under 14 for the for TDC Inter-School Championship.
PRO disclosed that there would be an increase in cash prizes on offer at the two meets.
Important that I wanted to mention. The Scholastic Championships combined will be offering over close to $25,000 in cash prizes to all the schools. So that's close to $25,000. The Rams Primary School Championship, we used to spend like $3,100 in cash prizes. Thanks to the sponsor, the primary sponsor, Rams, the good food people. They have given us an additional $5,000 to contribute to the Rams Primary, so it's now $8,100. The TDC Inter-School Championship, which was $12,200, it's now we're now offering cash prizes up to $15,000. So yes, so we're excited about that, and that have already been articulated to the schools, and we're certain they are gonna put in a little extra effort to be remunerated cash prizes or awarded cash prizes for excellence in performances.
That brings us to the end of this edition of SKNVibes News. Thanks for viewing.